Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 19 of the Denimheads podcast. I'm Pasha.
And I'm Dariush.
So what's going on, Dariush?
A whole bunch of stuff, actually. I want to start quickly with a small recommendation. Our friend Nick, Stridewise, he recently uploaded a video. He reviewed a pair of Tanuki denim. It's a $660 Tanuki. And I won't spoil it because it's really well made, the video. He's explaining a whole bunch of stuff. But I suggest, everybody should go and have a look because it's really well made. It's a nice video. And, we all love Tanuki. It's one of those brands that we like to, see what's new, what are they doing. And yeah, good stuff from Stridewise.
It's funny you say that because I actually was watching, I think it was on Friday or Saturday that I watched Snail Michael uploaded a new video as well, and it was about his he's thinking about going sort of adopting a minimalism lifestyle. He's selling a lot of his stuff.
Yes.
And it's an interesting thing. He goes up to, I guess, Cape Cod where he's from and such, but it's definitely something I've considered as well. Kind of just rebooting a little bit, selling a lot of things off. He brought up a good point that you really should be having a couple pairs of jeans and wearing them to really be able to enjoy them and get them to sort of show their true character.
Right.
And when you have too much stuff like I do, you don't get to really appreciate it. It may take a long time to get there. So yeah, definitely, give that video also a view, take a look at it, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Apologies to the listeners. I am actually recording from a different location than I usually am. It's a very wet day. It's not to say that my roof is collapsed, but I'm in a different room right now, experimenting a little bit.
Yes.
And yeah, so apologies, and hopefully Dariush can kind of do some master editing later on.
I'll do my best. Yes, post-production.
Sound a little bit better. Make me sound at least like George Clooney or something.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. No problem. Also something, a quick word about Ironheart. They have done what I think a lot of brands should do, is that they have launched their own podcast.
Really?
It's called, yes. It's called IronCast. And I saw the news through the guys from Sons of Salvage podcast.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Ironheart has its own podcast. It's called IronCast, and it's hosted by Buzzsprout.
Perfect for the Iron Army, right?
Exactly.
Is that what they're called?
And it's
Very
the
good.
Iron Army, exactly.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool stuff. Okay. Well, hopefully I'll definitely give them a listen as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So do you have any housekeeping from last week or previous episodes or anything?
Not really.
No. We're all clean?
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
So what do you want to chat about, sir?
Okay, I was hoping for a good transition with this, but no, I just have to jump into it. I have to thank once again the crazy YouTube algorithms, because not long ago there was a recommendation on my feed. It's a YouTube channel that is about exploring abandoned mines. Okay, you guys should see Pasha's face now. He doesn't know where I'm going with this, but I was recommended a video about a bunch of guys who are exploring abandoned mines, and they have found some very, very rare vintage Levi's.
Did we talk about this?
We talked about the gold rush quickly.
No, we talked about something about, like, somebody was telling me about this then, about like jeans that are found in mines,
Okay.
like from...
That's not me then.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we talked
somebody
about
had told me this about like looking at old mine videos or something like that.
Okay.
It's very interesting. You say that. You
Yeah.
sure? Well, I thought it was maybe you.
No. So it's a bunch of guys. They are exploring one of the oldest mine in Arizona, actually, and no one's been there since like 1870 or something like that. And in that specific mine, they found 8 pairs of jeans dating from the 1800s. 3 of them were Levi's, one of them was something super, super rare, which I don't remember all the details, but and the rest, it was like Stronghold, Triumph, which I'm not familiar with, and Pacifico. I would say this channel, it's actually very interesting. If you have a bit of nostalgia from stuff like Red Dead Redemption and you're passionate about denim and stuff like that, because these guys, they're specialized in exploring mines from the gold rush, basically. So it's, they go in Canada, Mexico, USA, of course, and they check those gold mines, silver mines, copper mines. They try to relive the gold rush days, and they find some really interesting treasures, antique equipments, and stuff like that. And they happen to find these pair of jeans. And some of those were valued at about $50,000, I think. So it's interesting to watch. Very interesting.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you know how many views this video approximately has?
I can tell you right now.
Or how popular that channel is? Because I'm telling you, you're saying this, and more times than not, so the listeners know, we don't actually discuss, we don't sort of prepare for these videos, for these episodes. So I feel like somebody had told me about this.
Okay.
And I totally forgot about it, and I thought it's actually you, but it may not be.
No, I really
it's
don't
fairly
think so.
popular. Somebody else had told me about it.
Yes.
Maybe when I was talking about the podcast.
So I mean, this channel has 147,000 subscribers.
So then somebody else told me about this. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely, because somebody was telling me about like a mine and finding old jeans and old denim.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. These guys, they do a great job. But okay, a quick word of warning: if you're a tiny bit claustrophobic, I suggest that you just go read a book or do something else, because otherwise you'll have a hard time watching this.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Like motion sickness too? Like
not even motion sickness,
around?
but they're going, using a rope, going down these mines and stuff, and it's untouched since 1800s, so it's just completely
insane.
Dark, a lot of dust flying everywhere. It's but it's interesting. It's a
video, good view, I guess.
Yeah. Each video is a bit of an adventure, honestly. So good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool.
What about you, Pasha? What have you been up to?
So I will have to say I don't have a whole lot to talk about. I apologize.
No problem.
All I can basically do is probably chat a little bit about what I did today.
Cool.
And so, yeah, it may be of interest to our listeners. A few weeks ago, actually, Andrew Chen, the founder of 3sixteen, reached out to Dariush soon after one of our episodes. And he invited me to the store here in New York on Elizabeth Street. And so finally I had the time today to go into the city and visit the store. I used the opportunity actually to get a haircut first early in the morning. And I was chatting with my barber, and he was telling me, I was kind of telling him about the podcast, and he was talking about G-Star Raw and Scotch and Soda, brands that he really likes. Okay. And it was interesting to hear sort of somebody from that side, someone who's not really in the denim world. And he was really into G-Star, Scotch and Soda, but he liked G-Star because of the distressed, the way they do their distressed jeans. And so
right.
It was kind of interesting to hear what he thought about that. And again, sort of in the mind of things and how it must be ultra premium denim because it's usually about $300 or $400, and he got it on sale for $150 and all that. So it was interesting to hear sort of that perspective of things. So then, my appointment was at a little bit later in the afternoon. I had a little bit of time, and Blue and Green, I finally got the chance to go to Blue and Green.
Yes.
I hadn't been in some time. So I went there, and actually my guy Yashadai, who's usually there, was not there today. I had a young lady, Jade, and a gentleman, Xavier, there. They were helping me out. We were looking at stuff, chatting a little bit.
Okay.
I got to troll Dariush with some pictures of the new release Oni denims.
Yes, very much so. The new dark
denims that were just
dark indigo. That's how they called.
Yeah, dark indigo secret denim with the red button fly, one red button fly, and such. And looked at some of the Capital releases that were out. Very cool stuff. And then what else did I do there? And
You
I'm
saw
trying
a
to
nice
think.
jacket. You sent me a picture of a nice secret denim Type 2 jacket with the green stitching on the pocket or
That's
something
right.
like
That's
this.
right. Yeah, I don't know. I think we talked about it. I'm not sure if we talked about it online or offline,
Offline, yeah.
on the podcast, but definitely got to see that. It was very cool. And then I made my way over to 316.
Okay.
Gabe, the store manager, was there and sort of was going through a little bit of the history of 316.
Okay.
Basically, that store opened up. It's their sort of flagship stores here in New York, and there's one in LA. The one in LA, I think, opened up in, if I remember correctly, 2017. But this one actually opened up post-pandemic, August of 2020, here in Elizabeth Street. They signed the lease and everything in December of 2019, not knowing what's going to happen.
Wow.
And so, a little scary. Imagine.
Yeah.
Opening up a brand new flagship store sort of during the pandemic.
Yes.
And that's crazy. But he was talking about that and how he's been there for a period of time as well since the beginning. They opened up the store and it was pretty cool.
Okay.
We were chatting a little bit about the cuts. I was kind of asking him about the trend, because I think you and I have chatted about this before on the podcast about how there is a shift towards looser cuts, more relaxed cuts.
Okay. Yes, definitely.
And he actually said, yes, very strong. Yes, he's like, there's definitely a shift. There is a strong movement away from skinnier, slimmer cuts and way towards roomier cuts.
Okay.
He says, their denim is one thing, but they noticed in their corduroys, their suits, everything that they have, they're doing a lot better, frankly. Their seasonal stuff that is looser does a lot better than their denim. Meaning in terms of their looser cuts. Now, of course, slimmer cuts do well, but the more relaxed ones are definitely doing a lot better.
Yeah.
And he says, he's noticing it with those people who are coming into the store and shopping. Online wise, there's definitely a movement, which is it's funny because it feels like we are dinosaurs now at this point.
Yes.
We are not. We tend to go for the slimmer cuts per se, and that just, I think, is more indicative of our age, because I think Gen Z versus millennials, Gen Z tend to like the roomier cuts. And he again said it's also because it's post-pandemic. People are spending a lot more time at home. And again, there's a shift towards comfort.
Exactly.
More than anything else.
Comfort and function versus just style.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it was a good conversation about that, kind of asking a little bit about the weights, which ones do they do? Okay. They have the lightest, I thought he said they have is about a 12 ounce. That does okay. Heaviest was about a 17, but that doesn't do as well. Okay. As everything. Their sweet spot, what they do a ton of, is their 14.5 ounces, which is a nice midweight denim. That's what they do. Okay. I mean, it's definitely a lot more. That's a lot of the denim that they have is 14 and a half. Okay. And particularly their shadow denim. He was talking about that. We're excuse me, we were chatting about the shadow denim. He was showing me, they have jackets. I don't know if I took a picture of that, but I definitely took a picture of another pair of their shadow denim. It was an indigo warp and black weft. Okay. He was showing me, and I'll share it with you, and maybe we'll make it like the thumbnail or the story on Instagram. But he showed me a pair of denim that's kind of in their quote unquote denim museum, which is it was worn by a tattoo artist actually for 3 years, 6 days a week. And it really sort of faded nicely. Okay. You could see the back pocket and everything. He's just sitting in those jeans, and you could see there's ink all over the thighs and everything. So really cool stuff. It faded really nicely, and hopefully, my cheap iPhone photo will sort of show how nicely it looked. Okay. But they have a really nice store for sure. They had a customer come in, and unfortunately, Gabe had to. He had to tend to that. So I was chatting with actually another Andrew, not the founder, but another gentleman. And we were chit-chatting about a bunch of stuff, and they were really cool. He was telling me a little bit about how they're shifting towards making a lot of their stuff in India at this point, as opposed to, in terms of like a footprint, carbon footprint and such. Okay. They are not doing as much like sort of bringing stuff from Japan to LA and back to Japan, let's say, to do a bunch of stuff. And there's a lot more. They're sort of there's a shift towards making things start to finish almost in India.
Okay.
And most important about this was that they treat their workers really well in India. And that was really important, and it is important, but it's especially important to the company to make sure that the workers are taken care of, and treated very fairly, humanely. So there's no, sort of, they feel good about the way the product is, and they stand behind it that way.
Right.
He did share that they're actually doing their first foray into wash denim this summer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big deal. This is their first thing. They did chat, maybe they previewed it a little bit, but their first official look will be on their Instagram. So definitely give them a follow and look out for it on their Instagram. I believe it's just number 3sixteen.
Yes.
And they'll do that first look of their wash denim.
Okay.
Sometime fairly soon.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool stuff. And then, that was that.
Cool. Interesting.
That's my day.
Your day. Let me jump back into something that we talked briefly about off air. That collaboration. I sent you a picture of those Momotaro pants with the elastic waistband, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was from a retailer in France,
exactly.
Right?
It's a collab between Les Flâneurs, so that's a shop in France, and Momotaro. So I know this is maybe a little controversial because it's a Momotaro pant with an elastic waistband. But still, I went for it and I picked it up. I wanted something.
Did, right?
Yeah, I did actually. Why? Basically, I wanted something different. I always wanted some, Momotaro's
stripes on your butt.
Exactly.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Indigo stripes.
Yada, yada.
Exactly. Yes. Still, it's interesting because these guys from that French shop, Les Flâneurs, they were able to choose a fabric that seems like Momotaro had not used yet. So it seems like it's an exclusive fabric that they use for that collab. So it's really slubby. It's 16.5 ounce, super dark indigo. I don't want to go too far in the details, first of all, because I don't have all the info, but it's
pink stitching?
Sorry?
Pink stitching?
Pink stitching on the inseam, and it's red selvage ID. So, that fabric is supposed to fade differently from the other Momotaro fabrics. So I don't know exactly what that means. Yeah. Sorry, you
don't know what that means yet.
I mean, if I go and read it all on their website, I will know because there's a whole.
What's the website?
Everything will be in the show notes.
Most of us are not, French.
Exactly.
French speaking.
It will be in the show notes. Let's do it like this. Okay. It will be in the show notes instead of me.
Sounds good.
Yeah, butchering the names.
Okay.
So it's got an elastic waistband, but it's a fairly small business, that shop. So.
And it's COVID, so that's okay. I think we are talking about comfort.
Yeah, talking about comfort. There was my transition, right? Sorry, I should have listened. When you're a fairly small business, when you're looking at pricing and everything, when you're doing a collab, it can be really, really critical. Stuff like minimum order quantities can be already kind of high with Momotaro and brands like this. So you got to be very, very cautious. So I just want to salute this shop for going with the elastic waistband because it allows them to have 3 unisex sizes instead of having to order, I don't know, from 29 to 36. And it's you end up with a whole bunch of denim and you're not sure you're going to sell everything. So, so you reduce the cost of production and your significant one can wear it too, and all in all, you end up with Momotaro denim, selvage, slubby texture and everything under 200 euros.
That's really good.
Yes. And you got indigo dyed stripes.
We talk about women having, sort of a market that's not really, there is a market for them, but it's not addressed as much.
Yeah.
And, they have the boyfriend gene and mom jeans and such. So maybe you could share it with your mom. I don't know, but
no comment.
There's definitely something. That's good.
Yeah,
that's great. Actually, that's an excellent. I don't know many Momotaros that are not on sale per se
at that price.
At that price point. So that's fantastic. That's highly, highly competitive, actually.
Very much so.
With the Naked and Famous, the 316s, as we mentioned.
Yes. And I want to say, I'm wearing them right now. It's a way boxier cut than what we're used to. what I am used to, but the cut is very modern. So you can check online. I'll put everything in the show notes. It's different, but it's really nice. And you got the battle
Gabe
stripes.
was talking about this, how a lot of people are doing more straight cuts than
Yes.
slimmer tapered cuts. That's again sort of going back to that. He was mentioning that there's a movement towards more straight cuts again. And
Right.
I think it was an interesting it was just interesting to see. So
Yeah.
certainly it's weird. I started at more relaxed cuts. Then I went to tapered cuts.
Yeah.
And went back a little bit. I guess the loosest pair I have is what I'm wearing right now, Secret Denim.
Right.
The relaxed tapered ones. And it's weird to kind of go back and forth. You feel like you're swimming sometimes in these jeans. But,
Very much so. Yeah.
To sort of paraphrase what Gabe had said, it's just like form over fashion, I guess.
Yes, definitely.
Function over fashion.
Yes.
He basically said you just got to be comfortable in them. If you're not going to, again, what he said, I'll give him credit for that. He was like, you have to be comfort. He's not going to sell you a pair of jeans that you're not going to be comfortable in because you're not going to grab them. If you're kind of not too happy about grabbing that pair of denim, it's just going to keep falling back, as we talk about, sort of down the list of priority list or totem pole, let's say,
yes,
of jeans that you'll grab. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's really important to get something that's comfortable. And there's more loose cuts coming out.
Definitely. Loose cuts, but again, with a modern touch. So you got to look for those pictures of, what these guys did. Again, Le Flana and Momotaro. Very, very nice stuff. Very nice stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do we have a
denim head of the week?
Head of the week?
Of course we do. And it's not me this time. I didn't crown myself. Mr. Jordan McGee on IG. His IG handle is nifty_thrifty. So should I spell this? It's gonna take me hours.
Show notes,
guys. Thank you.
Yes.
He's got a really serious collection of denim. He doesn't really talk about the brands, but he has also a nice selection of chucks, different colors.
Are we talking about Converse?
Yes, Converse chucks, the high ones, mint, yellow, brown, red, a whole bunch of stuff, and some really nice jackets. I mean, there's a lot of things to check on this page. So
I actually forgot to tell you this. You're talking about chucks and what you purchased. I actually didn't tell you what I purchased.
Right.
And they're sitting in the box.
Okay.
I bought a Momotaro t-shirt.
Okay.
White t-shirt because we were chatting about. I picked up I wore this week the is it Blue Japan Haori jacket?
Okay.
And I was like, I was wearing them with the Tanuki indigo shirt that I picked up last summer. And it's like, I really want a nice quality white t-shirt. So I happened to be on the Blue Owl website, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay.
I picked those up. And talking about chucks, I finally got a pair of the shoes like pottery.
Shoes like pottery. Okay, nice.
Yeah, they're sitting. I'll be honest, they're sitting in a box because they arrived yesterday,
and it's raining.
And I got home super late. They're sitting in the box right now, so I haven't opened them up. But maybe next week. And I picked up a couple shirts from Blue Owl. Had a drop of drops, tons of drops this week.
Yes,
Tanuki and said Oni denim.
Okay,
but also the Portuguese flannel. So talking about next week, deep sigh. I think, Dariush, we maybe next week might be our last episode of...
Yes.
I don't know.
Of season 1?
Season 1, maybe forever. I don't know.
We'll see.
Next week will be close to 20 weeks, so 4 or 5 straight months of recording faithfully on a Sunday, Saturday sometimes, and recording and putting it out. But I think we need a little bit of a break
Agreed.
from recording, just to kind of get our bearings a little bit, and as the weather gets a little bit better, so we can kind of go out. Being cooped up in an apartment as much as we have been in our homes, and also just to get a little bit better perspective, to kind of get our eyes out on the streets and see what's happening out there, and sort of trends. And not to say that we follow the trends as much, but just to have something better to report.
Yes.
Than what's dropping every week at said online retailer or something.
Right. And also, I guess the question was, has this podcasting thirst, has it been quenched? We decided to do a podcast because we wanted to do a podcast. Do we still want to do a podcast? Do we still want to continue? I think it's.
We actually honestly don't know the answer.
Yeah, it's out there. We just
it's out there. We don't know. We know that next week, episode 20 will be the last one for a period of time. We don't know how long. We have ideas. Certainly, if we did come back, there are some ideas out there between the two of us to tinker with some stuff and maybe tie up some loose ends from season 1 per se. I know we definitely would love to hear from our listeners, our audience, and answer some of the questions that they have.
Yes, definitely.
Thedenimheads@gmail.com. Dariush, you're at obviously_blue on Instagram.
Yes.
Either way, hit us up.
Exactly. If you have questions, you have
anything you want to hear our opinions on.
Yes. You want to share.
Sometimes, we have somebody out there who's kind of curious as to what we do when we're not recording.
Yes, true.
Anything. We'll see what we can answer, and we will definitely, whoever asks some questions and such, we'll do our best to answer as many as we can.
Yes.
And I think that's maybe what we'll leave as episode 20, just answering some questions. Hopefully,
if we have enough.
Hopefully there is some.
Yes.
If not, we'll figure something out. We'll have some fun with it.
We'll definitely figure something out. But it's true. We would be happy to answer questions, or even if you have a funny story you want to share, something involving denim or not. No denim at all.
See whatever you can.
Whatever you want to share.
Yeah, whatever, and we'll whatever you feel comfortable with us maybe sharing with our listeners, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
With that said, we wish you all a very safe week and happy week ahead. We shall chat with you next week. Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.